The girl entered the wrong restroom and her teacher was inside it, a real infidelity story. Chloe was a diligent student, fiercely dedicated to her studies in her small liberal arts college. She was known for her intelligence and strong sense of discipline, a contrast to her often whimsical nature when it came to her personal life. However, the stress of midterms had left her slightly disoriented one breezy autumn afternoon. As she hurried down the corridor, her brow furrowed in concentration, Chloe collided with a group of students, her mind preoccupied with thoughts of her upcoming exam. She didn't notice that the door she pushed open was not the women's restroom, but rather the faculty restroom that held the potential for both embarrassment and unexpected encounters. Inside, she barely registered the tall, broad-shouldered figure standing in front of the mirror until it was too late. Adrian, her charismatic English professor with an air of mystery, turned, his eyes widening in surprise. Chloe's cheeks flushed with a mix of shock and mortification as she stammered an apology. I thought this was the other restroom, she stuttered, her heart racing. Adrian, ever the composed educator, chuckled softly, his blue eyes shimmering with mischief. Well, you're definitely not supposed to be in here, but I won't tell if you don't. There was a playful tone in his voice that made Chloe's stomach flutter despite the gravity of the situation. For a moment, they stood in a silent standoff, caught in the tension of the unexpected breach of boundaries. Adrian was used to being in control, his students admired, his life in perfect order. Yet there was something about Chloe, a spark of rebellion and innocence, that drew him in. Maybe I should go, Chloe suggested, her voice slightly strained as she tried to escape the heat of his gaze. But as she turned to leave, Adrian invoked a boldness he rarely showcased.
Wait, Chloe.
Before you go, can we just chat for a second? He stepped forward, his voice softening. I know it's a weird time and place, but I've noticed how hard you're working. Maybe I could give you a few tips for your exam. Chloe hesitated, the thrill of being in close proximity to him outweighing her embarrassment. Okay, just for a minute. As they talked, the minutes melted away like the autumn leaves outside, the conversation effortlessly flowing from academics to shared interests, their laughter echoing softly in the small restroom. In that confined space, walls and societal norms began to blur. With every passing moment, the invisible line that had once separated them felt more like a suggestion than a rule. Adrian's humor, charm, and hidden depth captivated Chloe. She couldn't deny the chemistry brewing between them, an intoxicating blend of admiration and attraction that hung heavily in the air. Suddenly, the reality of their circumstances crashed down on Chloe like a wave. He was her professor and would soon become her stepbrother. The idea struck her hard in the chest. They had met regularly at family gatherings since their parents' engagement announcement. It was a complicated web they were entangled in. I should really go, Chloe said, breaking the spell. Adrian, sensing the shift, stepped closer, his voice low. One more minute. Let's not overthink it. There's something here we can't ignore. Chloe met his gaze, feeling as if all her resolutions began to crumble in an instant. The taboo nature of their connection both thrilled her and terrified her. Over the following weeks, their interactions in class became a series of stolen glances and quiet, electric conversations, each one laden with unspoken tension. Every family dinner was a test, their new relationship unacknowledged, yet always lurking beneath the surface, leaving them both restless. Chloe found herself at a crossroads. The desire for Adrian burned fiercely within her, yet so did a sense of morality, designed to keep them apart. They were supposed to be friends now, soon to be family, a chilling thought. Despite their best efforts to maintain distance, fate had other plans. One night, after an intimate dinner that turned into a private round of drinks, they found themselves alone on the balcony overlooking the shimmering stars. Chloe, I can't keep doing this, Adrian said, his voice strained. You and I were drawn to each other. I know, she admitted, leaning over the railing, the breeze tousling her hair. But it's wrong. You're my professor, and soon my stepbrother. We can't. Yet we already have, he interrupted, stepping closer. The tension snapped like a taut wire. As if drawn by an invisible force, They crashed together, a kiss igniting a fire that had been simmering for far too long. It was an avalanche of pent-up emotion, of fear and longing, intertwining their identities as student and teacher, as friends and family, and as two people who couldn't help but want each other against all odds. Reality would come crashing down soon enough, with consequences they couldn't yet fathom, but at that moment, everything outside their embrace faded into a blur. They were not just Adrian and Chloe. They were two souls unwillingly rebelling against the very fabric of their complicated lives, destined to ride the waves of passion wherever they might lead. Weeks later, with hearts full yet minds heavy with consequence, they made a choice to embrace their forbidden love while facing the complexities that came with it. It wouldn't be easy. They were aware of the challenges ahead, but the undeniable bond that tethered them together promised an adventure they were willing to navigate, come what may.